What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to review round 17, Port Adelaide versus the Western Bulldogs at the Adelaide Oval. Happened on Saturday afternoon in perfect conditions, and you know what? We got the job done. 48-point winners against the Dogs in a blistering affair by Port Adelaide, in a game that was very much a question mark on what would happen and what would Port show up, what Port Adelaide would show up, and what would we show to the Dogs. And we showed a very classy, very strong performance, and it was very good to see. And the 30,000 people that turned up on game day, to the many fans that got the opportunity to watch the replay or didn't get an opportunity to watch the game live, and were playing footy or had commitments, myself included, who came off my local footy ground and got told the result, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I was shocked and really pleased with the result. Got to watch the game back, and I just thought that our performance was very classy. It definitely put a little bit of respect back onto our name. It's just now a question about consistency and whether or not we can continue on to the next few weeks. But I think having the win like we did against St Kilda, it was ugly. It was terrible. We played terrible and still won. To come out and do the complete opposite against the Dogs and put on a show in the first quarter, 5 goals to nothing. And then we were able to just continue to pile on the pressure and pile on the goals, and to get a result like that we did, and cement ourselves back in the top 8. Well, we're already in the 8, sorry, but like to sort of solidify a spot a little bit for the moment. It's really pleasing, and I think the performance that we put out for that is just absolutely exceptional, and I'm very proud of the boys. Very proud of the game itself, the way we are able to continually play 4 quarters of footy, compared to having that 1 quarter where we just dominate and that's it. Like, we played 4 quarters of solid football, and there were some complete standouts on the day. But I think everyone deserves a pat on the back for this performance. We've all been critics of the club. We've all been pretty harsh, and it's been fair. Like, the opinions and the commentary around Port Adelaide are fair. Like, that's simple as that, especially from the fans. When the fans demand so much, when the fans are the ones that turn up, spend their hard-earned money, to get a performance like they got to see yesterday against the Dogs, I think it's truly rewarding. So well done, Port Adelaide, well done to the players, the coaching staff, everyone, because it's a team performance on the day that I think tactically we were very sound. Execution was brilliant by the playing group, and the stars of the show definitely turned up. And yeah, it was very pleasing and a very good result, and something that I sit here and I'm very happy with, I'm proud of, and it sort of made my week. It's been a tough week personally, it's been a tough week for the club and everything else, and tough week for the fans, tough few weeks in fact for the fans. So this win is sort of a rewarding one, and Ken Hinkley put it into perspective the other day. He said they will be happy at the end of the game, and we were, and it's really good. So a very pleasing performance by Port. A few stars of the show, let me tell you. I'll rattle off some names because they were all brilliant, I thought. I'm going to start with Rosie, Butters, Wines, Horn Francis, Georgiadis. These young crop of players were absolutely fantastic, and Ollie Wines was a supporting role in a game that was just blistering. Rosie set the standard, having 17 in the first quarter, was amazing with the footy, and just a great captain's day by him, and Butters complemented that as well with a superb performance. And the Dogs never tag, so having these performances by our midfield was truly exceptional, especially up against a midfield like the Dogs. They have Bont, they have Libba, and they have Team English as well. Jordan Sweet's performance was amazing. I thought around the ground English will have that covered, and that's a craft that Sweet can add to his game. But I think the way the Sweet was able to use his tap work ability and was able to manipulate where the direction the ball was going was truly exceptional, and kicked a goal himself. So match that on English's spec, and like a really solid performance by Jordan Sweet. And I wanted to highlight, we constantly talk about Rosie, we constantly talk about Butters. Wines was sensational. Horn Francis took a while to get into the game, but kicked 3 goals still and had 20 himself. So there are always going to be players you talk about. There's one player that I really want to talk about, and I think he deserves a mention, and that's Brandon Zerk-Thatcher. I think his last few weeks of football have been absolutely amazing, and he's really the front runner at the moment for our best recruit of the year. I think the way he's been able to stand his ground and grow confidence against these players, and these forwards that he's standing on, he's been able to cement himself in a defensive system that is, it's not the worst. Like, it needs improvement, but he's been able to sort of cement a spot in that place. And I think his bodywork has definitely improved from when he was at Essendon. I think his reading of the play is really, really good. Field kicking needs some work. That can always happen. I think that's every player on that bloody team, though. But he complements Aaliyah. And I didn't expect that, but he really complements Aaliyah. And I think that, and he was able to release Bergman as well, who's been really, really good in the last few weeks, I think. Bergman, Brandon Zerk-Thatcher, and Aaliyah are able to work as a cohort, and it's surprising. But I think the way that that occurs, I think it's really complimenting BZT, and I'm really, really impressed with the way he's going at the moment. And in a game where I thought, wow, 4 tools probably needed Sava to play and everything like that, the defense just looks sound. It looks like we're composed. And it's a completely different structure to when the kamikaze effect comes in and everyone's flying in for the footy. So I'm really, really impressed, and a job well done by the defensive structure throughout the whole day as well. A couple of things, obviously, want to highlight as well. The Zerk-Thatcher incident with Norton. If he gets suspended for that, it's a wayward arm that's not intentional at all. It is it's not even careless. Like, he's trying to defend, and Norton's just ran into his arm. I don't think it's Norton's fault. It's a complete accident in footy, and it was just unfortunate he got subbed out. So I don't think that should get anything. I think Georgiadis is in a bit of strife. If he gets a fine and he's lucky to get away with the fine for that, then boy, oh boy, he is lucky, especially after a 5-goal performance and really finding his form of late. If he comes out with a 1-week suspension, that's really, really unfortunate. So we'll see how it all pans out there, but a couple of instances that, might want to keep an eye on during the week. But for now, to sit here to say we've beaten the Western Bulldogs, it's not even a statement game to say like we're contenders or anything like that. It's a statement game within yourselves, within the football club, within the fans, to say, right, we've got this job done. We can perform the way that we want to. If you put a performance like that, like they did against the Dogs, against a top 8 or top 4 team, I think it stands up. But again, like, it's not a statement game to suggest that we're going to contend for anything. It's purely the fact that we're able to do this. We know we've been able to do this. This is one of the better performances we've had this year, if not the best. We haven't seen anything like this and consistently throughout a 4-quarter performance in a while. So I'm just really, really pleased. And now we play the Gold Coast off an 8-day break next week, who'll be fit and firing, I reckon, after their performance against North. So we're going to have our work cut out again. But for now, soaking in a win like this in a game where it wasn't expected to be such a good result like it was, I think is well deserved. So I'm really, really pleased. There's not a criticism from me this week, which is surprising because I've been a very grumpy boy the last couple. So really, really happy. And we'll look forward to seeing how we go in next week's game. But for now, sitting in the 8, sitting pretty, and let's see where this takes us the last few weeks of the year. Oh, thank God. Thank you for watching, Port fans. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the game, and I look forward to reading them and seeing how everything goes for the remainder of the year. Thank you for watching once again. My name's Anthony, and as always, ThePear.